from Studio A in Texas, USA. Welcome to the In-Wheel Time Show, your all things automotive car talk show. On today's 2-hour program, we'll take a look at Jeeps and the Jeep culture. We'll also have new vehicle reviews of the Jeep Wrangler Diesel and the Dodge Charger Scat Pack. We'll also have our weekly Ram Tracks and Jeep Trails features, along with this week's automotive news. That and more just ahead on another jam-packed 2-hour in-wheel time car show for Saturday, June 27th, 2020. Howdy. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars and King Conrad DeLong, I'm Don Armstrong. So glad that you could join us today. We really appreciate it. This week before the 4th of July, we got a big show planned for that as well. That's going to be next week. But in the meantime and in between time, Mr. Mars, how's your week been?
It has been a
very interesting week. Mars,
yes,
Mars thought he lost his wallet.
No, he did lose it. He did lose it for a while.
No.
Yeah, but he lost it on his desk.
Yeah, man couldn't find it. So what does that say about Mike's desk?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, we're talking canceling credit cards and the whole bit. Because
And
that's
then
how,
he found the wallet after he canceled all the credit cards.
Oh, I wasn't going to tell anybody that.
Well,
It's bad enough my wife knows that.
Credit cards and debit cards, only to find out that Becky only had $18 cash.
Exactly. And no access to the ATM.
So, and how has your day gone since that?
Oh, let me tell you, I was on the way over here this morning. Everything was running good down Interstate 10. You know, we were talking a week or so ago about traffic flows.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm coming down Interstate 10. I got my cruise set on 80 miles an hour.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got a car in front of me. We're in the $50 lane. Right beside me, I'm easing around a truck that's a little bit slower. And in the outside lane, there is an 18-wheeler. And I'm checking my rearview mirror, and there is a car coming up on me so fast. So fast, he scared me. I started looking for a way out, and I really thought it was a police car when I first looked.
A white Challenger Hellcat?
No, it wasn't a Hellcat, but, I mean, it was, I mean, he come up on me so hard that whenever he finally figured out he needed to slow down, you could see the nose of the car almost diving.
He's throwing out the anchor.
He got my attention real quick.
So you just grannied along
I was
in
awake.
front of
I
him?
was awake the rest of the morning on the way over
No
here.
doubt. Conrad?
Oh, I had a great week. But just hot and sticky. And
It is hot and sticky, and now we've got this whole corona thing going again.
seemed like every time I got out of the truck to do something, by the time I had to go get back in it and get some product to deliver, it started raining so hard you couldn't see straight.
It has been an odd week.
Yeah, it was a wet week, let's say.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, we've got a great show lined up for you today. As we said, we're going to talk about Jeeps. Is Mr. Morrison ready for us?
We're getting the audio squared away.
Okay, very good. Well, at any rate, so we're going to focus today on Jeeps. You know, we have been sponsored by Jeep for years and years and years, and we're not doing the show because it's been sponsored by Jeep. It's not that. It's that Jeep has got its own culture.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
And passionate owners.
Absolutely. Now, I do know somebody that has a sport model, which is the base entry level. And I asked her, the gal that I work with, I said, do you ever take the top off the Jeep? No, I don't do that. Why not? Well, I really don't need to. It's too hot and it's a pain.
And then Randy and Jen, they've got the top off and the doors off all the
they,
time.
They don't ever put it on.
Yeah,
Exactly. So there's all the way from people that don't take the top off the Jeep to all those that never have the top on the Jeep and everything in between. Because lots of clubs around, and, of course, us being close to the beach, it's always a popular vehicle down at the beach. So as we talk about it, why don't we talk about it with the head of the Jeep brand? His name is Jim Morrison. He joins us live now from the great state of Michigan. Jim, good morning to you, and thanks for joining us. Oh, my.
Maybe not.
Well, we thought we were going to talk to him,
had
but
the sound there,
yeah.
Michael.
And
Is that any better?
How's this?
That's
There
much
you
better.
go.
Bingo. You got us.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
we can. I see that
All
you're
right.
at the ranch, and I assume that you've got a Wrangler up there. Actually, you probably got every one of the Jeep brand vehicles that you kind of like a lot up there, I would imagine. Huh, Jim?
Yeah, there's actually a couple of Wranglers and a Gladiator in the driveway.
Now-
Actually, a Grand Cherokee too. So
Yeah. I can't
all
imagine.
all of my kids and my kids' girlfriend and yeah, so it's neat.
Well, I'll tell you what, we really appreciate you joining us. I hope the weather is a little bit better than it is down here. It's about 100% humid and 90 degrees outside.
And the Sahara dust.
Yeah, we just went through a bit of a cold front here last week. Really kind of hovered around the 70s, but it's shooting back up to 90 here today.
Okay. Well,
So it's a couple of big rainstorms.
yeah.
Actually washed away all my grass seed. I got to start again.
Well,
But
it gives you something to do besides the jeeping.
yeah, that's the neat thing is, this whole idea of getting back out in freedom, everything from take your top off. I went to pick up pizza last night. Couldn't wait to take the top off the Jeep and just, drive 10 minutes to get pizza. But I went wheeling with my boys a couple weekends ago at a off-road park here in Michigan, and the trailhead was packed. Everybody was just, the first weekend it was open, and finally people were able to get out in their Jeeps, and there's such a feeling of community and freedom and fun. It was great to get out, and everybody was being very respectful of distances and all that kind of stuff, but they were all having fun in their Jeeps, which was great to see.
Well, that's what it's all about. I mean, the Jeep lifestyle is just that. It is a lifestyle, and you can pick the lifestyle, but we're going to kind of focus in today on the Wrangler, because I think that the Wrangler really is the highlight vehicle of the Jeep brand that everybody knows.
It's the icon of the Jeep brand.
Yeah.
When you say Jeep, everybody sees Wrangler in their head, though there's a whole plethora of other vehicles that they offer, but the Wrangler is the one that everybody sees.
And, it was a couple of years ago that you came out with the JK model, the new one, and, you always manage to one-up yourself when you do a complete redesign, and, this particular Wrangler gets nothing but high marks, and there are significant changes. Why don't you go over a few of the most significant changes underneath the skin of the Wrangler for this current model year?
Well, I think that's the best thing about the Jeep brand is the connection with our customers, and whether it be talking to them on the trails or talking to them on the forums, or even talking to them sometimes in the grocery store parking lot. The Wrangler people are always, very connected to their vehicle, and we try to be very connected to them. And with that, we always have an idea of what we need to do to update it. So, it's a Wrangler. It's based on being the most capable four-wheel drive on the planet. So it became even more capable with the next generation. We improved the breakover, departure angles, the overall ground clearance. We gave it bigger tires, and then it's got a lot of open air freedom too. So we made the tops easier to deal with on a day-to-day basis, made the doors easier to come off as well, and all of those things you think of are very Wrangler centric stuff. But paying attention to what our customers are asking for, that's exactly what they wanted us to do. So we delivered that with the new Wrangler. And then, of course, the other thing that the customers were asking us for was even more capability, more torque, and more fuel economy. So we've just delivered that with the diesel. 29 miles per gallon and 442 pound-feet of torque. Man, that thing is just unbelievable off-road and on-road too.
Yeah, that Eco Diesel is something special. I've got a real love for anything diesel, and you guys really came to market with the right thing inside the Wrangler.
Yeah, and not only that, Jim, but I found out this week, because I just got out of a Jeep Wrangler diesel that I'm going to review here in a little while, and that diesel engine is specific for that Jeep. It's not one that's pulled out of another vehicle. That engine is made specifically for the Jeep Wrangler. Yeah,
the 3-liter is a nice proven engine, and it's been evolved to fit it in a Wrangler, and it was actually a little bit of an exercise to make it work. So it took a little bit of extra time to get it in there, but now that we've got it installed, it's been a real crowd pleaser, so to speak. And we've had a little bit of trouble getting our dealers stocked up with it, just with the timing, but we've been focusing on our customer sold orders, and we've been delivering those, and the customers that have them now are very, very happy with that engine. And I have to say, it's a great piece. You step on the gas and it just rips. and it's a really nice addition to the Wrangler, and a little bit of forward looking here. We're going to add that 3-liter to the Gladiator as well. So I'm looking forward to getting one of the pre-production Gladiators for me to drive here in my driveway here next week, and can't wait. It's a great addition to the Gladiator as well.
Well, I think that it's notable that the fact of the torque on the thing, that's what it's really all about. And I have to confess to you, Jim, the press vehicle that I had the diesel in it, and there was a little short break in traffic, and I was trying to get across the intersection, and I made the mistake of nailing it, and the thing burnt rubber. So I have to tell you, I didn't mean to do it, but it's got so much, it has so much torque. It's like a hot rod.
Yeah, it really is down in that low gear.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's 442 pound-feet of torque in a vehicle that is as light as a Wrangler. We built it because we wanted to be more capable, and that's what the enthusiasts were keeping, honest. They were like, "Oh, give us a diesel in the Wrangler, give us the diesel in the Wrangler," and you know what? They were absolutely right, because a Wrangler's got to be all about capability, which it delivers. In fact, I drove the Wrangler on the Rubicon Trail with the diesel here at the end of last fall, and it went up. I hate to say it, Cadillac Hill. It's a really steep climb up the Rubicon, and those that have been on it know it's probably the most incredulous trail you could find here in America. And I did it in high, 4 high. I didn't even need to put it in low. The Jeep had so much torque, it was just walking up the rocks, and people couldn't believe it. And anything, with that kind of torque, 442 pound-feet of torque, anything with that kind of torque usually had, a V8 swap in their Jeep, or, and would have multiple, jerry cans of gas just to even get them through the trail. We drove this Wrangler, and actually we had a Gladiator too, with the diesel. We drove it from Lake Tahoe to the trail, went all the way to the trail, through the trail, 2 days, and then back to Lake Tahoe, which is a 2-hour drive, and it still had half a tank of fuel.
Oh my
gosh. Just unbelievable.
I'd read somewhere in some of the reviews, I was doing my research this week, and somebody mentioned that they were really concerned about the diesel and being able to control all of that torque on the trail. But because of the transmission and the gearing, all of the things that you guys, and attention to detail that you've placed on the actual drivetrain itself, they were concerned that it would not be able to be controlled the way that they wanted it to. But as it turns out, after they drove it, they said it's got more control than any of the other engines that you've got, and they were quite surprised at that.
Yeah, our engineers spend a lot of time with that detail, in 4 low, in 4 high, what the tip in is, how it feels, because you want to have a smooth, connection with the environment, and you want to make sure that the tip in and the Jeep goes, smoothly through, really normal events, or on the flat, or steep inclines. And the engineering team did a fantastic job integrating that engine.
So they were able to actually overcome people like Don Armstrong trying to get across the intersection and burning rubber accidentally with 442 pound-feet.
And I'll tell you, down here on the Texas Gulf Coast, we do a lot of mud, we do a lot of sand, we don't do a lot of rock. It's just not here.
Yes.
So I had a chance to drive the Wrangler with a diesel in it at one of your events late last year. And it made all the difference in the world, because of that torque, I could actually go and I didn't have to fight it so much and try and work so hard like I did with the V6, in the 3.6 in a Wrangler, trying to climb some stuff in Arizona the year before. And it really did, because of that torque, made things a lot easier. And I was able to go places that I would have been concerned otherwise.
And that's the beauty of a diesel, is it offers so much torque at low RPMs. You don't have to get a lot of RPMs in the engine to develop that kind of power at the tires. Yeah. And that's what the Jeep folks want, especially if they're going to do any off-roading. They don't want to have a high revving engine to create the power. They want that low speed torque.
Yeah. And it's got it.
You're
it's
absolutely
great.
right. It comes in low end and goes. The other advantage too is diesel's almost free right now. It's actually at the low point that I've seen in a long time with it was 260 here in Michigan last week. So, for a gallon of diesel, and that goes a long way, over 550 miles range in a Wrangler. It's
So,
incredible.
Jim, we're out of time for this segment. We're going to touch back with you in about 15 minutes, and I want to talk about the Jeep lifestyle. And I know that you've immersed yourself in a lot of clubs. You've gone the Rubicon Trail. You've done all of that, and you know these Jeep people. And I want to touch on that at the bottom of the hour. Are you good with that?
Yeah, that's fine. It's not just a Jeep T-shirt. We live
Yeah,
with them too.
exactly.
So I got a hat too. So yeah.
I'm glad. We're glad to see that. Okay, Jim Morrison, thank you so much. We'll touch back with you here in about 15 minutes or so. We appreciate it. Jim Morrison, head of the Jeep brand. All right, just ahead, we're going to review the Jeep Wrangler Diesel, and we'd like to invite you to join us each and every Saturday for our live show, 10 a.m. to noon on Facebook and YouTube, and catch our podcasts on your favorite podcast channel. In Wheel Time continues after a quick break.
Man, I love my kids so much. I once sat for 3 hours in the cold rain to watch her soccer team lose by 18 goals.
I love my kids so much, I once used a tube to suck snot out of her stuffed nose at 3 a.m.
You win.
Love your kids? Love them enough to make sure they're in the right car seat. From toddlers to tweens, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to find the right seat for their age and size. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #alone together. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hey, thanks for joining us for today's In Wheel Time car show. Time now for our car review. And as I teased when I was talking to Jim Morrison, I had the opportunity to drive the new 2020 Jeep Wrangler. The available trim levels on the Wrangler are the Sport, that's the entry level. And then we have the Sport S, the Sahara, and the Rubicon. And then there's also a lot of sub-trim levels along with, it's a whole myriad of them. And if you're going to look at buying a Jeep, you need to do your homework because there's so many options out there. So our reviewed trim level is the Unlimited, which is the 4-door, the Sahara 4x4 with the 3-liter diesel engine. It's classified by the government as a small SUV. It's a Jeep Wrangler. It really is a class unto itself. How many passengers? Up to 5. Exterior changes from last model year. Complete redesign in 2018. Exterior features, well, it's old school in the fact that it is body-on-frame construction. And to have a real off-road SUV, you have to have a body-on-frame construction because you need that frame underneath it.
You need that rigid structure.
Yeah. It is the most off-roadable of all of the SUVs known to man. Fold-down windshield, all the standard stuff that you already know, removable doors. It has several tops, the hard top, the soft top, and a power top, which is what I had, and that depends on the trim level what you can get, whether you're going to get the 2-door, the 4-door, that sort of thing. But I had the power soft top, which was really cool because all you do is press the button and the cloth top rolls back.
Nice.
It makes it easy.
Did you not have that one?
No, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I had the hard top.
It's very cool. Classic 7-slot grill. It's called the Sky One Touch Power Cloth Top. It's a $4,000 option. But if money's
every penny.
But if money's no issue and you don't like to get out there and wrestle with the top yourself, hey, this is the way to go, my friend. Interior highlights, weather-resistant controls, seating surfaces, and hose-out flooring. You can't beat it.
But that's the Jeep life, though, too.
It is. Uconnect screen, big, right on the top of the center stack. Window controls are located on the center stack as well, which takes a little getting used to. They're not on the door because
you take the doors off.
That's right.
That's right.
You can have a 4-door or a no door.
And that Alpine sound system is killer.
Jams.
Connected up with that Uconnect system. 3-liter V6 turbo diesel. They also has a turbo 4 available and a gasoline V6 is available. We're talking about the new turbo diesel. 260 horsepower, but 442 whopping pound-feet of torque.
Wow.
That's it right there.
Which is 55% more torque than any of the gasoline engines. 8-speed automatic transmission. Tow rating is 3,500 pounds. The miles per gallon, 22 city, 29 highway for a combined of 25. I got 27.3 over 310.9 miles. What I liked about it, the mileage and that torque, baby.
Well, and Jim was talking about what the range of the vehicle is as well. He was saying the range of this is over 500 miles. I mean, you're talking about something you might only have to fill up once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was just going to say, every couple of weeks. Hey, it's a round trip to Dallas and Houston and back.
Oh, easy.
Yeah. Ride and handling, more car-like highway ride than pre-18 models. They really worked on that, and the ride is actually very good.
Yeah. Well, they're listening to the customer. They're listening to the Jeep customer, and that's what they're asking for.
So the base trim price on this particular is $38,645. The price is tested. Of course, this is all loaded up Sahara, $56,750. The base model price, you can get into a Jeep, the sport model, as low as $28,295. You want to get yourself immersed into the Jeep lifestyle and you want to buy a new one, hey, $28,295 will get you there.
And that's what a lot of people do. If they're going to get a little more serious and they really want to put some body lift kits in it and really get into that, they start with that.
So, competitors, are there any?
No.
Not really.
I'm sorry.
So
No.
Ford is coming out with the Bronco as a 2021 model. It should be priced competitively. Obviously, nobody knows anything about it just yet.
But I don't
coming.
think it's going to have the off-road capability a Jeep does.
So now where do you go? Okay, let's try the Toyota 4Runner. Can't take the doors off of it, but at least it is an off-road body on frame. So that one is $36,351 to get into. And I thought, well, okay, how about this Suzuki Samurai?
Do they still make that?
I don't think they've made it.
Actually, they do make it still. They've
But not
been
in the
making it
States.
since 1970, but Suzuki's out of business in the United States.
Oh, okay.
No, but you can find used ones, and some you can find for $2,500. I found one here in Houston that they're asking $9,900 for a used old Suzuki
That's more than it
Samurai.
was new.
Exactly.
You know, the only other thing I could think that could compare would be the Land Rover Defender. Because that's an off-roadable, but you're talking about something that starts in the upper 50s, low 60s.
And then, you know, and I read a story. There's some rumors going around that Toyota's thinking about bringing back the FJ.
Well, that'll be the third generation of FJ.
Well, it's a rumor.
Well, at any rate, so that's the review of the Jeep Wrangler Sahara with the diesel engine. I want to remind you.
I have one question.
Yes.
Did you get the Jeep Wave figured out? Because all the Jeep folks tend to give themselves a nod or a wave.
Yeah, well, all I got was a wave, one of those.
Okay.
And it didn't have any fingers involved
No,
in
no,
it
no,
whatsoever.
but
it was strictly a hey.
I know all the Jeep folks all acknowledge each other as they drive by.
Yep. Hey, be sure and check out our podcasts. They're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. You can also catch our video stream on Facebook.com in Wheel Time and on YouTube/In Wheel Time. Quick break right now. And as soon as I get it set up, because I was a little bit preoccupied and I didn't actually set up the next commercial break. So if you'll give me just a moment, I'll be able to do that.
So do we need to talk for a few seconds?
No.
What about the car calendar?
Let me just say this, that I've got it now,
You're
so
getting
you
it
don't have to
figured out.
worry about it.
Well, we filled that time.
911, what's your emergency?
There's a train that just hit a car.
Sir, what is your location? Look around for a street sign, sir.
It's 8th and Orchard. 8th and Orchard.
Okay, very good. 8th and Orchard. Sir, help is on the way.
Why would he do that? The train still doesn't stop. You have to get there now.
At a railway crossing, even if the engineer sees you and hits the brakes, it can take a mile for the train to stop. And for you, that's too late. Stop. Trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey, thanks again for joining us for today's In Wheel Time program. We're on the air every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and we sure appreciate you joining us today. Okay, let's talk about the car calendar and the racing calendar. Now, here in Texas, we've had to kind of scale back a lot of things because apparently COVID-19 has blossomed into the out of control thing. It's here in the Houston area where we're talking to you from, they've actually gone to code red here. Code 1, which is like, okay, it's time to
adding some of the restrictions back on.
Yep.
Kind of forced masks and stuff as well. So, and with that, a lot of the car shows are still going to be going on, but they're asking everybody to park with a space between and really don't intermingle and keep your social distancing going. In Liberty, they're going to have the Liberty Street Rally on July 11th. Downtown Liberty. Also on July 11th is the Tool Mart car show, and that's going to be at 13721 South Gessner.
The Tool Mart car show.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Harbor Freight. It's a tool store, but they've got a big, huge parking lot, and they're sponsoring this car show.
Okay.
Goes from 7 to 4. They're going to be giving out prizes and awards and stuff, so that'll be pretty cool. And of course, the Twin Peaks meet up in the Woodlands will be on July 26, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then racing coming and going. We're kind of getting back into some racing. Formula One starts next weekend. The Grand Prix of Indianapolis, which is the road course at Indianapolis, is next weekend.
Are they going to have fans there?
Well, I don't know if they're going to have fans there now, but they were going to have limited fan attendance, so they're not going to sell. It's not going to be full grandstands, but there'll be some. You got to think at Indy, it only seats like 250,000 people, so if they even keep it down to a couple of thousand people,
I was
going to
say,
fans.
talk about social distancing. You wouldn't even be able to go, hey, how you doing over there?
Right.
Be using flags.
And then in a couple of weeks, IMSA is going to be back at Sebring. They're going to be next weekend. They're going to be at Daytona. Indianapolis is going to be on the 12th. NHRA is going to be at Indianapolis on the 12th of July. And then Richard Tomlin and the Houston SCCA is going to be doing their autocross down at Greyhound Golf Park on the 12th as well. So if you're interested in taking your car out on a solo course, just again coned out in a big parking lot, go down there and check your car out.
When is that?
On the July the 12th, down at a Greyhound Golf Park, and it starts at 7 in the morning.
Is that a Saturday or Sunday?
I think that's a Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah, the 12th's a Sunday.
Well, now that I got the clutch fixed in the Corvette, might have to.
Well, it'd be worth a try. I mean, I would bring your air compressor as well because you're going to need to adjust your tire pressures, as you know. We'll
got
be
it
talking
right there.
we'll be talking about that in Conrad's Corner. Okay. So that's what's going on in and around racing and future events, and we'll talk about the calendar
Well, I
later.
did also want to mention to you is that, and you didn't ask, how did it go at the racetrack
I was
last
going.
Saturday?
It's actually the first thing on my list, but I knew you'd get us there.
Okay. You had that confidence in me?
Absolutely.
So,
nice save.
So, yeah.
See,
now, you don't have to prove it. It's
it is
okay.
the
We
first
know
thing
you
on my
forgot.
list.
But at any rate, Jeff and I went to Houston Motorsports Park last Saturday evening, had a great time, and I got to interview all of the winners from all the different categories of cars, and a great turnout, lots of fans.
Because you are the winner's circle reporter. You're there down there at the
right down there in the nitty-gritty.
In the nitty-gritty.
I love every moment of it. But I got a note from Gina because, that whole racing series, Texas Short Track Racing Series, is now under the NASCAR Home Tracks flag.
Congratulations.
And she told me that they're going, no fans in the stands, so they're going to have a race next weekend, but no fans. So it's going to be for the racers only.
So do you get to go?
I'm probably not going to.
As the interviewer?
No, I can't
in
imagine.
The winner's circle?
We haven't talked about it, but I don't know why I would do that.
Because you can.
Free ticket. Hey, come on in. All right.
And you got to bring Jeff. He's your gaff.
He is.
Or GIF. What are you, Jeff?
5'11". He's 5'11". That's perfect. All right. Well, we're going to take another quick break, and we want to remind you that if you'd like to share your car-related info, all you have to do is send it to info@inwheeltime.com or through the In Wheel Time Facebook page. Up next on the In Wheel Time Car Show, we're going to rejoin Mr. Jim Morrison, the head of the Jeep brand. We're going to talk more about the Jeep culture. Stay with us.
Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? You found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@nwheeltime.com.